Hi, it's Mr. Hammer here. I'm going to show you how to make a line drawing for your Sketchbook Pro project. So the first step is to look through all the different drawings you have in Sketchbook Pro and find the one that you want and select that one here. Then you go to the bottom right hand corner here and make a duplicate of it because we're going to be merging it and changing it, so you want to keep one version of it. Once you've got that duplicate now, you're going to open it up by tapping it. And you'll notice you've got all these layers on the right. You're going to want to merge them. So double tap on one of those layers and the side menu will come up and you'll click merge all and it will say, are you sure? You can't undo this, your life will end. And there you go, you've merged it all and now I have my happy merged face. Next step is to tap again on that layer and I'm going to play around with the opacity. I don't know if you can see it there, but it says opacity. And anyhow, it says opacity here. There's a slider bar. You're going to bring it down so that it's opaque or translucent. It's up to you how translucent you want to make it, but if you make it too translucent, you can't see it. So find a good level where you can see some of the details, but it's kind of on a different level of clarity. Then what you're going to do, and this is very important, is click the plus sign here. That creates a fresh new layer right on top there. In this layer, you will then go choose this pen. This is the pen I recommend. I do recommend going black, choosing this pen and making it very thin. Okay, and now what you're going to do is you're going to zoom in and make a line drawing. The key here is to add a lot of detail. A lot of students don't add a lot of detail. They just kind of go like this. They just do this and this and this and this and this and then they're done. And I'll show you what that looks like and I'll show you what a better job would look like. So now, notice here, very important, notice where I've drawn. You can see this on the side layer here. I have drawn on this layer here. You can't see it anymore, but you can see it now there. I've drawn there and I haven't drawn here. If you draw on this layer, it's not going to work. So you're going to have to kind of start from scratch. So I can hide this layer by clicking the eye and it shows you what I have left. That's not a very detailed line drawing. So I'm going to clear that layer. Not delete, I want to clear the layer. There we go. And I'm going to start again. So I'm going to show that again. Now notice when I show that again, it is now selected. If I draw now, I'm drawing on top of that layer and I don't want that. I'm going to go back to this layer. Now I'm going to go draw in detailed. I do recommend pinching and zooming right in. What kinds of details could you get? Instead of drawing this line only, I can outline the dark areas. Okay? And I can make it like, it's kind of like curving a little bit, so I can add that in. The eye over here, see this little dark area here? So maybe I'll outline it. Okay? Then there's kind of the eye, the pupil or dark part there, and this is kind of separate, so I'll outline that. There's a little circle there for the white, and there. And you can be a little bit liberal here. There's another line here. I'll make it a little bit thicker. There's a couple little lines here. There's this line over here. In the teeth, there's a lot of details there. A lot of the curves, my cruddy old teeth. All my grinding evidence. How many of you are grinders at night, grind your teeth? Is that just an adult thing? My son, I think it's hereditary because my son, who's like 3.5, does not have a ton of stress in his life. He grinds his teeth. He's been grinding for years and he's like teeny tiny. Okay, so there we go. Notice I'm getting all the details and I'm looking really closely. Even here there's these little lines, right? Your lines on your lips, getting really in there. Little curves. These little curves are really important. All you have to do is trace. Doesn't get any easier, and I can even, if I want to make it dark, kind of show it like that. And if there's stuff in the background, I can add that too. I mean, why not? It adds details. It can make my drawing more interesting. Who knows if I'm going to use it or not? Oh, there's some kind of my nice little unshaved face there, so lots of little spiky bits. My daughter drew a nice little drawing of me with these massive lines on, made me look like a porcupine, and it was my beard. Oh, and there, of course, is the hair. There's some hairlines here. But maybe I'll go, whoops, undo. I can go in and I can get these little hair bits, but I'm actually going to do something else with the hair, so I'll leave that there. Let's take a quick look and see how this looks like, what this looks like when I take this out. Now this is quite interesting, right? There's quite an interesting drawing there. There's a lot of detail. It didn't take me long, but I really went in close and zoomed right in. Now here's another fun thing I can do. So a few things I can do now. First of all, I can add a layer here and I can add some text. The text tool is up here. There's my text tool. And now I notice I added a new layer for it, okay? And if I tap on there, it'll open up my text and I can go here and write something. So Mr. H rocks. Now, I can change the font a little bit. Can't do too much with it. Check. it's going to put it in here. Check. There it is. But we have a problem because when we print, it's going to be backwards. So if I want this to be the right way, I'm going to have to flip it. So first of all, I'm going to enlarge it. So I'm going to transform it and make it bigger and put it on the side here. But this is going to end up being backwards. So I'm going to use the flip tool there and make it backwards. I can put it on this side if I want. Now it's going to work, so it's backwards. So you can add text if you want. You can also go to the internet and get some pictures. So let's say I wanted to look up hairstyles. So I've looked up hairstyles here. But it's giving me these pictures of real people, which is going to be a little bit hard to draw. If you think you have the skills to really get in and do the details, go ahead. It's not a bad idea. However, you have other options, which is to use your search tools, go to type, and click clip art. Select clip art, and now you're going to get stuff that's a lot easier to work with. So for example, I like this hairstyle here. I'm going to tap on that. Now, this doesn't work with all the tablets, but if you press and hold, you should get share image. If not, you can use the pen to clip and put it into Sketchbook Pro. I'll share this image right into Sketchbook Pro, the pencil, and it should put it in my file. So there it is. So now, first of all, I'm going to hide my other layers so I don't see them, so they're not bothering me right now. Oops, it's on the same layer as my, my text, so that's not really going to work. I'm going to, let's see if I can clip this layer and move it. So I'll quickly select this, and I'm going to cut it, actually, and move it to a new layer here. Paste. So there we go. And I'm going to go back and hide this layer. So now I've got this head here. I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. First of all, I'm going to make it larger. Second of all, I'm going to go back, make the opacity lighter, make it lighter. Then I'm going to add a layer on top, just like I did before. Find my pen, the same pen, and now I can outline this hair. And zoom right in to get all those interesting details. Because it's these interesting details that make all the difference. You don't have to exactly, notice I'm not exactly following the lines. That doesn't matter. Those are little embellishments, little lies along the way. As long as I'm getting it mostly, it's going to be interesting. Any changes I make are my own artistic interpretations. And I'm going to get hair. I'm copying somebody else's work. Does anybody know what this is called? Because I'm not actually copying it. It's called appropriation. When you take somebody else's work and you kind of copy it, but you change the idea in what you're presenting, it's not actually copying anymore. I'm going to try and do this fast. You guys would spend more time on this. I'm kind of going quickly for this demo. These inside lines are pretty important. You see they add repetition and variation here. So now I have the hairdo, and if I again hide that, I can see what I've got my hairdo. Fantastic. And now I can add my face back to it, but it doesn't fit, of course. So I'm going to have to resize my face to fit in there. And I may have to add some outlines. But now I've got a line drawing based upon my clipped face with a clip art version of something else in the background. I can, and you can, add other images of things that you like, rock groups, music, anything else, people that you follow on YouTube, any logos, video game stuff you want to put in the background, you can do that. Keep this in mind. You want to keep it simple so it's not too complicated. When you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to pinch, and you're going to back up, you're going to export PSD, and then you're going to select Drive to save your work, and make sure you do that. I do recommend, along the way, saving your work by pinching it. Maybe every 2 or 3 minutes pinch, that saves your work. See, I would save to Drive here. I would pinch it to save it so you don't lose work. And that's how you make a line drawing.